What's up, YouTube? It's your boy back again, Jody motherfucking Keith, with another story time for you. Now, this is a story a lot of people have asked me about what happened this past weekend. I got second at the Star City Games Dallas Legacy Classic. And in my second to last round, I got paired against a Miracles opponent who was actually a pretty cool guy. And like we had a great fun match of Magic, like Legacy's usually fun, but it's even more fun when both players are having fun locking each other out, because that's just mad respect. So the first game, I locked my opponent out of everything, and he had a good time about it, and like we were having fun. In the second game, he played back to the basics on me, and locked me out of the game, and we had a great time of it. So then we go to game three. Now in game three, I end up playing 3 sphere effects, so every spell costs 3 extra to play. Okay, and my opponent finally manages to get up to 6 mana and play the back to the basics, which like locks me out. Doesn't lock me out completely, but it was a good turn for our opponent. Now our opponent also has a rest in peace out, so we're just kind of chilling, and we draw go, and then I end up getting 6 lands up, and I pass the turn with a K grip in my hand, planning on killing this back to basics or this rest in peace, probably the back to basics. So I pass the turn. Now he gets enough mana, 7 mana, to play a Jace. So he plays a Jace and he pluses it, Fate Sealing me. Okay. So now on his end step, I go ahead and I K grip his back to basics. You see, and in doing so, lets me untap all my lands. So I untap all my lands, and with my mana, I tap 4 and I play a Pithing Needle. Okay, and I needle his Jace. And then I tap 4 and I play a Gamble, okay, for another K grip, which randomly got discarded because, that's how Gamble works. And so then what it ends up happening is I pass the turn, completely tapped out, my opponent draws and plays another back to the basics. Now I'm completely locked out. But here's the thing, I have a forest, so the forest is supposed to untap, and I have a Thespian Stage that's a copy of the forest. That's also supposed to untap because it's a basic land, you see. Now, that's the setup that I have. But when he passes, I'm crushed. I'm devastated. I'm like, shit, he had a second back to the basics. So I go to draw, okay, and I don't untap my lands because I'm like buried in my mind. I checked out of the game, which is something I usually don't like to do. But I'm pretty checked out. I'm pretty, my feelings are pretty hurt about this back to basics. And so I just go draw go, and then we only have like 3 minutes on the clock. So I want to play it fast, so we can try and get a winner. So I'm like, draw go. He's like, draw go, draw go, draw go, draw go. He goes and steps Snapcaster. Then he untaps. He's like, attack you for 2. I'm like, draw Maze of Ith, go. He's like, attack you. I'm like, maze it. And he's like, go. And I'm like, draw. And then I draw a Thespian Stage. Now I play the stage and I pass the turn. And while I'm passing the turn, I'm thinking about what I'm going to do with this stage. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'll copy a basic land so it can untap. And then as soon as I said that in my mind, I looked down and I saw I had the forest in the stage that was supposed to be untapping. And I was like, oh shit, dude, hold on. So I guess technically it's my end step. So I'm like, hey man, look, check it out real quick, These 2 lands are supposed to be untapped, because they're basic. And then he's like, oh yeah. And I was like, as a matter of fact, they're supposed to have been untapping for the last 4 turns, because I just wanted to assure my opponent, look, I'm untapping these lands. They're not supposed to be tapped. I'm untapping them. So I made a more convincing argument. Look, they were supposed to be untapped for 4 turns. So he didn't argue. He was just like, yeah, of course, man. He's like, I saw that, but he was like, I wasn't going to say anything. And I'm like, you're not going to say anything? That's kind of fucked up, man. I thought we were having a good time over here, not casting spells and paying 3 extra and not letting our lands untap. I thought we were having a swell fucking time over here, and you're over here not letting me untap my lands. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of messed up, man. Or seeing that I wasn't doing it and not saying anything instead of like repairing the game state here. Hey, bro, those lands are supposed to untap. I mean, it's semi-misrepresenting what the hell your card does. Whether I knew, because I did know earlier, but now I checked out of the game, didn't know. And he let it go on like that. So as soon as he said that, I really just took offense to it because it was like, dude, you know what I'm saying? That's fucked up, man. Because I thought we were having a good game here. I corrected you on something earlier, and I mean, you just gonna let me go out like a hoe, pretty much. So I look up and I look over my shoulder, and there's a judge right there. Heard the whole thing, and I was like, Judge, I really want to get the judge involved because I'm like, hey, look, I just want to make sure that I just want to make it clear that I'm untapping these lands, And also that we're running low on time, so this interaction is taking some amount of time. So hopefully we get a time extension so we can try and get a winner, you know. So the judge checks in. He's like, yeah, I heard the whole thing. He's like, this is what happened. That's what happened. Hold on one second. Let me go get the head judge. He goes and gets the head judge. Talks to the head judge. Head judge talks to my opponent. Okay. So then the opponent's, telling him this, that, or the next. And then the head judge comes back. He's like, okay, you guys can resume play. We got 2 minutes on the clock. And I was like, wait. Hold on one second. Can you explain to me what happened? That's all I asked. I was like, can you explain to me what happened? And then the judge goes to explain what happened. You didn't untap the lanes. I said, okay. All right, now, he did not tell me. That really got me upset, you know what I'm saying? Because he didn't tell me that these lands weren't supposed to untap. He didn't tell me that they were supposed to be untapped, And so, I think this is part of the story that you're missing biggest. So, the head judge, apparently the first judge didn't convey that to the head judge. So then the head judge pulls me aside, talks to me. Then he pulled my opponent aside and talked to him. And, I just pretty much laid it out for the head judge exactly as it happened. I was like, the only reason I even called the judge is because, you know what I'm saying, he said that. And I was just like, I need to make sure that my lands are going to untap. I don't want to get scammed out of, not being able to untap these lands because I need to turn this other stage into a forest. So once I told that, apparently, that's, super not cool. I knew it didn't feel cool, that he did that, but I didn't know the ramifications or what the actual penalty was. So, but apparently it's cheating, of some kind. I don't know what the exact penalty was. The judge wasn't big on words about it. He was just like, Jody, you win this game, da-da-da-da-da. I was like, okay, cool. But I don't really know what the actual penalty for that is. But anyway, just make sure, you pay attention because you don't really know the intent of your opponent, I thought this guy was really nice. And he was nice. And maybe he just didn't realize that this was something that he's not supposed to do in Magic. So I'm not going to take that against him because he was a really swell guy. Played, I had fun playing this guy. And I really wanted to see who was going to win. And he shook my hand after and he wished me luck. You know what I'm saying? And I shook his hand. I was like, yeah, dude, I'm sorry that it happened, what can you say there? So it's an awkward situation, but you definitely don't want to hide any information while you're in game, and you don't want your opponents to be hiding from you, or it's directly misrepresenting your cards. And this happens a lot with lands, because when I play Tabernacle, the Tabernacle at Pendrell Vale, give it its full title, I always say, hey, do you know how this card works? That's why I ask my opponent. And my opponent says yes. They always say yes now. Everybody knows how that card works. And then, so in game 2, I pass the turn, and I don't pay for the creatures. And I'm like, bro, why'd you lie to me? I'm like, I can't believe you lied to me. I just met you and you lied to me. You told me you knew how this worked. Come on, man. You got to pay for them creatures, man. Come on. Why'd you lie to me? But anyway, so yeah, if y'all enjoyed the story, tell me, I'd like to hear your stories about sometimes somebody did something shady that might not have been that shady, but just if you saw some crazy penalty, that you didn't expect, in a game. I'd like to hear your stories below in the comments. Hide your wives, hide your kids, bring your friends. You know where to find us here in the Goon Squad. One love, good vibes.